Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly market update. Today I have Kayla and Shay with me. How are you guys?
Thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. And we've had a couple of an Easter and an Anzac Day weekend, so a little bit out of kilter. It feels like it's a normal week of Monday today, and it feels like it's actually the start of a bit more normality. Kids going back to school today and tomorrow, and everyone's
back to routine.
back to routines, and no public holidays in the way. So other than an election this weekend, which is we'll probably have some outcomes as far as our industry goes in relation to allowing people to start moving on and getting into things one way or the other. I think there's been a bit of a pause out there while people wait and see over the last few weeks what's going to happen. Doesn't seem like there's too many significant housing policies out there. A few little things here and there, mostly aimed at sort of affordable housing and a bit of first home sort of stuff, but nothing dramatically different than what we've already got in place at a state level anyway, kind of thing. So we're not expecting massive changes in the market other than, probably more the interest rate element rather than the election element, which is sort of likely to be addressed a meeting or two after the election, whether we sort of see that kind of change again. And if that happens, then that's more likely to see a probably a bit more buoyant spring market if we sort of see a couple of changes between now and springtime. So it'll be a watch this space sort of thing as to see how that goes. But for I think some of the markets that feed into Tassie and the Huon Valley particularly, the election's probably a bigger thing. So we're actually likely to see more people coming out of that Sydney and Melbourne market where the election is likely to change sort of attitudes more depending on the result. And if that does have a result that works for a lot of people and it means more properties come to market and transactions happen, that unlocks a smaller percentage of those people who will be moving to Tassie. So then we'll sort of have more of a downstream effect. If those listings happen in June and July and then they're selling in August and September, then there'll be buyers in our market in the springtime. So we'll sort of see how that sort of changes because it's sort of been lowest numbers for interstate buyers for the last 2 years out of the last 20 really. So we certainly, while they are there, we're probably mostly WA and Queensland for the last couple of years, not many out of those big states since the sort of down cycle off the back of 2021. So interesting to see if that should start picking up. It's just the speed of how that picks up will be the thing that we'll be able to fill you in a few months as to how that's sort of tracking. But certainly hasn't been super busy lately. So anyway, that's so yes, we'll go to an election Saturday. So the last couple of weekends have been a bit limited with open homes, partly because of Easter, Anzac Day weekends, and then this weekend is the election. We've got a few properties open, but we'll see whether people come and visit us or whether they just go and visit the polling booths, and we'll see how that goes. And then we expect some normality for a few weekends after that. So
it'd be nice to see. We've definitely found that the open homes over the Easter weekend were they're not overly busy, but we actually had quite a few people who said that they had anticipated going away, and the weather wasn't phenomenal, so the few more people about. But the weekend just gone, we definitely found that there wasn't loads of people about.
Awesome weather.
I was going to say, exactly.
Exactly.
So
cool. And so I guess leading on from that, we did have a few open this Saturday.
Yeah, we had 3 open. Like I said, a few of them had some smaller numbers, 1s, 2s, and none. And then we had one in Deep Bay, which had 5, which was really good to see. I guess, it'll be interesting to see what happens, maybe not this weekend, but the weekend following from there, just to see, where our interest is going to...
What the market's actually doing.
Yes, exactly. I feel like you can't get too much of an idea from the last few weekends.
Yes.
But no, and there's definitely been a lot more private inspections going on as well, which has been really nice to see. I feel like we can get a little bit more one-on-one conversations and a little bit more in depth with people about some of those things. And we've actually had quite a few offers flying around as well, which is really nice to see. And actually quite a few properties have had some multiple offers, which is something we haven't seen for a little while now. And when we say multiple, there's some that have had, 1 and 2, and then there's others who have had, 3, and then others who are getting closer to 5. And so, really, really nice to see. And I guess our sales team is really working on making sure that we're marketing the property properly, starting at the right price rather than maybe higher and working its way down. So these properties that have been getting these offers have only been on the market, 7 to 14 days. And we're really working really hard to
the price right.
Their price right. Exactly. So
similar to us, really.
Yeah.
If they're priced right, then they're leased pretty quickly. If they're not, then you can kind of tell.
Yes, sure.
And onto that, we're still in an environment with not too many properties available for us.
No, they're going pretty quickly.
Yeah,
they certainly are. We've got a few properties coming up. I haven't been here, but the team have let me know that some photographs have come back. So there's some new properties in Sydney and stuff. So it's good to have new properties coming in. But when they're priced right, we're leasing them pretty quickly. We're not getting multiple applications. So, the owners have got a range of
a lot to choose from.
Which is really good.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's a bit of a wrap for where things are at the moment. And yes, we'll see you all next week after we've got a Half Horse Tasmania annual awards on Saturday night. So we'll give you an update on that. And the election will have been and gone. So we'll see you next week on the update with some news on those things. And have a good week.